They say your price is too high. What do you say? I've got the answer to that question for you and so much more on today's episode of the Inside BS Show. Hi, I'm Dave Lorenzo. This is your Inside BS sales tip for today. Be sure and subscribe on YouTube, please. We do these tips every day, but today we got my favorite tip. I love this conversation. When people say your price is too high, I love it. Why? Because it gives me the opportunity to talk about money. So when somebody says to me, your price is too high, the first thing I do is I just repeat it back to them. They say, your price is too high. And I say, price is too high? I say it just like that. Price is too high? And then I stay quiet. And then they're like, well, yeah, here's the reason why. And then they're going to give you all kinds of information. Silence is your friend in sales. Silence is your friend. When you stay quiet, people fill that gap with all kinds of great information. So your price is too high. Price is too high? And they're going to say, well, yeah, Joe Smith down the street said he could do it for this much, and here's that thing, blah, 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 blah. Then you know what's going on after that. Second response, your price is too high. You say, price is too high, huh? Okay. Compared to what? So my price is too high compared to what? That's response number 2. You need to know what they're thinking about. Well, compared to what I want to spend or compared to your competitor. Oh, yeah, really? Which competitor? Oh, don't you know that competitor does a half-assed job? Don't you know that competitor uses inferior material? Don't you know that competitor only operates in these jurisdictions? So response number 2 is compared to what? Response number 3, hey, Dave, your price is too high. I know my price is high. Let me ask you a question. Why do you think I charge so much? So in response number 3, we're doing 2 things. Number 1, we're acknowledging, sure, yes, of course my price is high. You want to know why my price is high? Why do you think I charge so much? You're turning the tables. You're turning it right back around and you're asking them to answer their own question. Well, you charge so much because you're worth it, because you do a great job. Exactly. Whatever they say after you turn the tables on them, that's the answer. Why do you think I charge so much? You charge so much because it's expensive to do this work? Exactly, right? Response number 4, Dave, your price is too high. Yes, my price is too high. Isn't that refreshing? And then you stay quiet. Isn't that refreshing? And they're like, I don't understand. What do you mean? You see, you get what you pay for. So I'm the top person in my field. You're hiring me because I'm number 1. You want to work with the best, don't you? Very easy. Dave, your price is too high. Well, let me ask you a question. If it was free, would you say yes? Here's what you're going to do. You're going to narrow down all their objections. So if you want to address the price objection last, take it off the table right now. Say, okay, you think the price is too high. Let me ask you something. If it was free, would we be done? Would we be working together? Would we have a handshake deal? So remove price from the equation, surface all the other objections, and then once all the other objections are surfaced, you can go back to the price after that. Number 6, Dave, your price is just too high. Well, I understand what you're saying. Let me ask you a question. How much risk is involved for you if we don't solve this problem now? I know you think my price is too high, but how much is on the table here? How much is at risk if we don't get this problem solved? Well, a lot. How much does that cost you? Well, it's costing me $1 million. Well, my price is $10,000. Isn't it worth $10,000 to save $1 million? What you're doing with number 6, saying how much is at risk if we don't solve this, is you're turning the tables and you're focusing on value instead of price. Well, I get that you think this is too much money, but let's look at this a different way. How much is at risk if we don't address this problem now? $3 million? I'm asking for $30,000. I'm asking for a fraction of what you could lose if we don't solve this problem. Focus them on value. And then finally, number 7, Dave, your price is too high. Paul, I know you think my price is too high. One of my best clients said the same thing before we started working together. Would you like to talk to her? I think if you talk to this client who thought the price was too high at the beginning of our relationship and now has realized that our relationship is valuable well beyond what she pays me, if you talk to her, I think you'll be convinced that this is a sound investment in your future. So what are you doing here? In the last tip, in number 7, you're not only turning the tables, but you're giving them a third party to verify that this is a good decision at this price point. What you're doing there is you're including your prospect in a group of smart people who've made this type of decision before, and you're giving them the comfort that comes with an association with someone else. One of my best clients said that too, and now we've worked together for 5 years and I've delivered huge value to her. Would you like to hear from her what she thinks today as compared to what she thought when she initially reacted the way you did, thinking the price is too high? I'd love to introduce you, connect you guys so that you could speak. That's a great way to handle this objection. So the next time you hear the objection, your price is too high, go to these 7 tips. Watch this video over and over again and go to these 7 tips and mentally go to the catalog that contains these 7 tips in your mind and pick the one that's best for you. We're here every day at the Inside BS Show with a new sales tip for you, but we're also here every day with a brand new interview. So be sure and subscribe on YouTube so you can see my interviews with business leaders, some of whom are just like you, and some of whom have taken their business to where you want to take your business. Join me every day here on my YouTube channel. And if you'd like to listen on the go, join me for the Inside BS podcast. You can find it wherever you get your podcasts. Until next time, I'm hoping you make a great living and live a great life. We'll see you right back here again tomorrow.